Hello, everybody, and welcome to Movie Couple Live, the show where we talk about the latest in movie news and pop culture. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
Happy Saturday, guys, and welcome back to Spoiler Saturdays, where we take the time in our live stream to talk spoilers for, namely, whatever Disney Plus show has aired in the middle of the week. And
Yep, and this time around it is Miss Marvel, episode 5.
Yes. Interesting. Sorry, I'm getting text messages and everything is connected from like the iPhone to the iMac. So Warren just texted me, but I'll write him back after. You guys, welcome. We all made it to the weekend. Woo! Yay! Hope everybody had a good, happy 4th of July. We are just doing our thing. This weekend is very special though, and I'm still like I'm trying to contain my there's a lot of
heart palpitations.
Yeah, I feel bad for this guy because I have been talking nonstop for months, weeks, days.
Especially the last couple of days. Every now and again, whatever we're talking about, the topic comes right back to Stray Kids. Or right back to K-pop. So, Wendy I'm so happy. I am happy that she's excited, that her and Warren are going to be going off to, where is it at?
It's at the Forum, at the Kia Forum. We have tickets for Sunday night because we couldn't score a ticket for Saturday night, even though we tried. We had 6 different accounts that were helping us, and we couldn't get a single. Warren was close. He almost got 3 or 4 tickets for verified, but by the time he clicked like add to cart, it was gone. It was like a Black Friday situation, but we were able to score tickets. I had to buy a resale, verified resale, which is something I have always anticipated, but we got seats. They're not on the floor. I am okay with that. We were on the floor for twice. We were like,
you guys were front and center.
Warren got really good tickets, and I told him, I was like, man, you've set the bar way too high for these K-pop concerts. The next concert, if I am able to, like, I'll start saving money now, put money aside, is Navi Don't Get Sick, is for Blackpink.
Yeah,
because
Blackpink
we know they're having
going.
a comeback, and damn it, I was not able to get tickets. Honestly, when Blackpink was in town, like in 2020 or 2019, I could have gotten tickets, but it was so expensive for like the most upper bowl that I didn't feel like I could justify it. So I didn't go, and I have regretted it ever since. So Warren and I told him, and I know he wants to go see ITZY for his birthday, but I told him, I was like, you better start either making more YouTube videos.
Make plans to be able to go to
save up, do
Blackpink.
whatever. We are going to see Blackpink just in case this is like their last world tour. But anyways, I am super excited. Super, super, super excited to go see Stray Kids. I just hope the members continue to stay healthy because we were worried because 3 of the members tested. No, not 1. 3 of them tested positive for COVID. That they had to postpone their Atlanta concert and their Fort Worth concert. I don't know to what date, but they have cleared. They're no longer testing positive on the antigen tests. So they have resumed the LA dates. So like, please, if there's anything higher power out there, like just for the stays.
Wendy has been anticipating this. You should have seen how sad she was the very first time that they sold tickets, and no one in our group was able to get them. She was a very sad Wendy. But then, fortunately, more tickets came out, and she was able to get some.
I wasn't expecting to cry. I cried over, and I was like, who am I right now? I didn't even cry over not being able to see Blackpink, and they're like the ultimate group for me. I love those girls. I'm a hardcore Blank.
As a matter of fact, Blake GTR asked, so who is the ultimate K-pop group you want to see in concert, Wendy?
It's Blackpink.
It's Blackpink?
It's Blackpink.
But it's one of those things, it's like Blackpink, not getting tickets to Blackpink is kind of like, it's going to be difficult. They're so big, they're so popular. It's trying to, like, when Michael Jackson was around, trying to get tickets to a Michael Jackson concert, to get nosebleed section.
It's like getting BTS tickets. It's hard because everybody wants to go see
BTS.
In fact, I was just scrolling through TikTok before we went live, and ColourPop, the cosmetic company, they're doing a collab with BTS, and I was like, well, this is gonna sell out. I'm gonna try. I need to get some Koya stuff.
You're gonna have to fight Laura for all of the.
She'll buy enough for it, and I will just Venmo her the money. Like that's what's gonna happen. She'll buy triple of everything, and I'll just be like, I just need one Koya item, just one.
I actually can't wait for you, Laura, and Warren to be on your K-pop besties show.
Yes, we have Warren and I have a podcast called K-pop Besties. We just released episode 2. It's available on YouTube and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we just kind of gushed over mostly K-pop, but also a little bit of K-drama because we watch a lot of that. So
you guys just the chatter that you do back and forth.
I don't know
is
how
really
you
good.
handle us. Like we're in the car, and me and we're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then when you put the 4 of us together, me, you, Laura, and Warren, it's just.
And I'm just over here going, I like K-pop.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about it. I'm kind of the odd man out.
You're forced to listen to them.
The fifth wheel in a group of 4.
Because the K-pop conversation is also part of the conversation.
That is an entity all in its own.
But look, I am super excited to see Stray Kids. Like I think they put on such a good show. They're a self-producing group. Banchan, their leader, actually put themselves together. I'm very excited. So I just hope that the members continue to stay healthy and well through their tours. You know, tours can be exhausting. So stay healthy so all the stay can go and see the concerts.
Another good example is exactly what Debbie's saying in the chat. You know, trying to get NSYNC concerts. I mean, NSYNC tickets back in the 90s.
Was very lucky to
have to sell a kidney to get one of those.
I was lucky to gotten to see them twice. Once on the beach. We were
really
close. And this is when they were like, they weren't super big, but they were just at the cusp of like being that breakthrough group. So it's like people were there, but also people were like, oh, who is this? Because they were performing at some like summer festival. So my friends and I went. We made signs and everything. So we went, and it was a really, really great small. You know, they did like 4 songs, so it was fun. And then I was living in Florida at the time, and I flew to Sacramento to see them and I just paid for the flight because I stayed with a friend who was working for a radio station who had tickets for me for the show, and it was floor seats, so it was fantastic. Hey, Navi, don't do that. What are you doing? I'm sorry.
What was she doing?
She's scratching at a little spot.
Navi.
Hey, let me see.
We've actually been...
Oh.
So, something that we've been... Uh-oh.
Okay.
What happened?
She's bleeding.
Oh. So, Navi has actually been... Most of you know that Navi's been actually having, has had recent surgery to get certain bumps and tumors and stuff removed. But now she's getting even more. So she's got like one right here that I think she just scratched. She had one near her butt. Now she had one on her shoulder. And it's weird. They kind of like come and go. So we're pretty sure they're not like anything really bad. Maybe just like some, I don't know, some kind of cyst. But yeah, we're taking Avi down to the doctors on Monday to get that one checked out. But she scratched at one. And is it now, how bad is it bleeding, Navi? Let me see. Oh, okay. Be careful with that, Navi. But we actually have a lot of cool things to talk about today. We actually got some news that we dropped. What was it? What was the news that we had? I'm now a little flustered because of Navi.
I'm in dog mom mode now. She's getting the sock put on. We have Navi
my
socks.
goodness.
Yeah,
Navi.
it's bad.
Here.
Hey,
go ahead and call
here.
her.
Come here.
She's like, no, I don't want to go to you.
Yes, come here.
Go.
Come on.
Go.
You're not
My apologies for the show going a little bit off the rail.
Guys.
But you know what? There was actually one bit of news that I did want to show. Oh man, I can't bring up the picture. About a week or so ago, Nerf recently brought out and made an announcement of this new Nerf gun that they brought out. It's a Nerf rocket launcher. And all they have are pictures up of it. And man, if I knew that we had like a little bit of lull time, I would have brought it. Did someone put it in the chat? I'm trying to remember where I saw it so I can go. Oh, I saw it on Facebook. Geek Talk or something. I can't even remember where I found it. But it is a huge rocket launcher from I don't even think it's from Overwatch, but I have to go back and check it out. But is anyone out there actually interested in like Nerf and some of the cool things that they bring out? So that was actually something I wanted to talk about. But how badly is it bleeding?
I mean, it like she's not oozing blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's pretty red.
Oh, Navi. So, but also, I know because I was watching a YouTube guy who actually does a lot of like Nerf news, and I found his channel because I wanted to look up some information about the new rocket launcher, and they recently came out with a Mandalorian limited edition, and he was just bashing it because he's like, you know, it's supposed to be a special collector's edition, and now you can just go on Amazon and buy it. So I'm hoping that this new rocket launcher that they're bringing out is actually going to be something really, really cool for them to be. Oh, wait a second. Did someone just drop it? Did someone just drop it in the chat? In the live stream discussions? No, Blade. Close, but that is actually not it. It is, aha! MK. Thank you so much. The Nerf, it's from Destiny. That's what it is. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can bring it up on, and well, here, tell you what, I'm going to put the link in the description for our Discord, and you can look up in the live stream discussion, and you can join us in our Discord if my phone wants to work.
Sorry, you guys, I'm back.
It's okay, baby. You know, Navi is
so flustered.
Navi is our number one concern at all times. So, poor Navi. But fortunately, she'll be checked out on Monday. And hopefully we'll find out that, oh, it's just something that the doctor can just be like, oh, I can fix this right here.
You know, it's funny. I said to you, do you think it's a bad bug bite or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Maybe. I think it's actually just like some kind of like cyst or boil or
it's
something.
Huge, though. Anyways.
I've seen, you know, for some reason, when you scroll on like Instagram or something, you like those videos pop up and you're just like, scroll past.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. We're back. Did we find the Nerf gun?
Yes. Who was it that put it into our Discord? Because it looks really cool. MK put it into our Discord. So this is what it looks like. That's the bazooka. Here, hold on. I'm actually going to see if I can actually put it up on the screen so you guys can see, just maybe get a little bit of an idea of what it looks like. And I'm like, you know what? My brothers and I used to have tons and tons of different Nerf guns. Mm-hmm. And what we would do is when we would have family or friends over, we would have set up like two different forts, just from like the pillows of the couch. Mm-hmm. And we would just, each side we would pile up all the Nerf guns and we would take turns on choosing our weapons. And you had a certain amount of lives before you were out of the game.
Yeah.
How many times you got hit. And I think having this Nerf gun would be amazing in that kind of a battle.
Blade GTR in the chat says, I want it just so I can paint it in Destiny colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be actually a good cosplay item because it's safe to take to a convention because it's foam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you don't technically have to bring the darts if you don't want to. So one, you wouldn't lose them, and two, it's just for cosmetics, like for you to look. That's actually pretty
But it's
cool.
a limited edition, and it costs $185, which is
pass
a little bit out of my price range.
Pass.
So
it looks great. If you have the money to spend on it, you do you. So happy for you.
And
but
when it does
for
come
me,
out,
I'm not a Destiny fan. So
I am going to go online when it comes out. I'm going to go online and check out some videos. There's probably going to be tons and tons of reviews about it to see how it works, and then just hopefully it's really good, and then I'll just be able to be like, that looks like so much fun to play with.
So like aside from it looks really cool, is it special?
I don't know.
Oh.
I have not gotten to see very many videos about it because it hasn't come out yet. They just announced it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's all we really got.
I see. Well, we'll find out more about it. But we also do have a couple of other topics to talk about, including, and right before we get into Ms. Marvel, spoiler discussion, we do want to talk about Captain America 4 has found its director, which is like something I wasn't expecting to hear anything about.
Yeah.
But this is great. So we all know that Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie, has taken up the mantle of, carrying the shield, the title of Captain America. He is Captain America now. So they've landed the director who directed Cloverfield Paradox, Loose, as well as Waves that I saw at TIFF in 2019. Julius Onah.
Anytime Navi even moves a little bit, we're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Watching
her. So he is the director that Marvel have tapped for Captain America 4. And Roka and I kind of talked about this yesterday on the show, but I thought it was important to have that conversation here as well. He is the type of director who really knows how to tell a story with a lot of emotions in the story. Like if you saw Waves, I didn't see the Cloverfield Paradox, but I did see Waves, and that is a movie that will move you to tears. There's a lot of things that happen in that movie, and I do highly recommend it. So very, very, Trey Edward Schultz directed. Why did Roka say it was Waves then? But Loose is also really fantastic. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. I think it came out, was it last year before? So make sure you guys check that out. I am excited to see where this director is going to take the story of Sam Wilson as the new Captain America. And I also like to add that I think there was a Hollywood Reporter tweet or a Variety tweet that kind of was like, could Chris Evans make a cameo in this one or whatever, or something Captain America 4? And Chris replied back to that tweet was like, Sam Wilson is Captain America. Like, guys, he couldn't be more clear.
I am done.
He is finished. Like, could he make a cameo? Like, does this not leave, if he ever wants to cameo, he just has to say the words. I'm sure Marvel will find a way to do it.
Yeah.
But I think he's played that character and role for so many years. As an actor, it's a blessing, but it's also at the same time, you want to tell their stories.
Yeah, true. And also, he does kind of get shoehorned and kind of, what is that called? Not stereotyped. Typecasts as Captain America. One, because he really does look like that. Mm-hmm. He does have that strong chin, Captain America. Mm-hmm. And, playing the Boy Scout does get very, what can I say, boring at times. And he really probably wants to branch off and do things to where he can be...
Like the Gray Man. Like Knives Out. Something different and fun.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So, and also, I'm really happy with this director because something that Captain America kind of needs to do and has been doing so far pretty well is stay very serious and also very political because it's kind of done a very good job. It's America, we are very kind of political here. And I think it's a great outlet and bringing in this kind of serious director.
Yes.
Whereas, Thor is going the exact opposite direction. Thor is going
very fun,
very goofy, very Taika Waititi cranking up the comedy to 11.
Yes.
Kind of a thing. I think it's good that Captain America stays kind of serious and a little bit more espionage, a little bit more like I loved Winter Soldier, I loved Civil War. I think those were done so
really well. Really fantastic movies.
And I think keeping in that track for Captain America is a good call.
Yes, absolutely. So we're excited for this this announcement, and I can't wait to hear more about what they're going to do with Captain America 4. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into a couple of super chats. This one from Marvin Martin.
Thank you, Marvin.
Thank you. Marvin writes, Citizen Queen a cappella group band. Oh, voice plays Stranger Things. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Ayama and the Thornwood and... Ayama and the Thornwood and the Soldier Prince, Beauty and the Beast, and Nutcracker with twists. Are these all books?
Ooh.
Aside from the first two recommendations, are these books? They sound like they're books. I'm into it. I am currently reading, or I don't read. I listen. So I don't have time to. You have to make time to
Audible.
read. But if you're doing like audiobook, then you can do it while you're doing your laundry, cleaning, whatever. You just pop in your headphones. So like I've kind of opted for. I used to be so against audiobooks in the beginning.
Really?
I was like, no, because I love being able to hold, you know, a book and flipping the page, and like it feels weird to feel the paper. You smell the book, like it's a weird thing. That's why I like being.
You're
in
a little bit of a Rory Gilmore.
I guess so. I love books, but when you start running out of rooms in your small apartment, you don't have a choice. So you can go the Kindle route, which I still have a Kindle. I actually want to upgrade because mine's really old and it works very, very slow. So I do want the new Kindle that's like the paper white one. That's like no bells and whistles. It's just like a tablet strictly for reading. And it's kind of like matte. So if you're reading in the sun, it doesn't reflect all weird. But you still have to find the time to like sit down and read, which is a really nice pastime, but don't have time for that.
It's go, 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 go.
It's go
Here
all
in the
the
movie
time.
couple household.
Yeah, it's go all the time, and I don't have time. But you know, on a long drive, I put in a podcast or I put in Audible, and I'm currently listening to Andy Weir's project Hail Mary, and whoa, it's pretty good. So he's the same person that wrote The Martian and Artemis. So if you're into like space travel, adventure, sci-fi type of things, I don't know about fantasy, like sci-fi fantasy, but it's definitely sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's good. I like the way he tells those stories. But I will add those to my list of things to get to.
Marvin did say that they are actually short stories.
Oh, they're short stories.
So you can probably get through those.
Nice.
And also the entire Narnia collection.
Oh.
Narnia. Sorry, I have no idea who that accent came from. Narnia.
We go sailing to Narnia.
But honestly, where Wendy's before was kind of like, you know, audiobooks. I have always listened to audiobooks. I'm dyslexic and I'm ADD. The whole me reading a book from cover to cover would never happen if it wasn't for audiobooks. That's how I was able to read all of the Robert Jordan novel, any novel that I've read, anything that I've ever consumed that is written material is pretty much has to be audiobooks because I can't read an entire book. It is nearly impossible for me to get one done. If you listen
to it through audiobook, you're absorbing all the information. You can still retain it. Yeah, I think.
And I'm also almost done with the Heir to the Empire series. I think I got about like 6 more hours left.
Nice.
And the Thrawn, and I'm liking it. I really like the Thrawn trilogy.
Yes.
I can't wait to dive into more stuff from Legends. So I'm excited. I love audio. I love Audible. I will always sing its praises.
Audible, feel free to sponsor us.
Always happy to talk about Audible.
Yes. And I want to wish, where did it go? A happy early birthday to Mr. Fulton Mraz, who says, in 1 week on Wednesday, the 20th, is my 23rd birthday. Happy early birthday!
Woo!
Let's put some birthday cakes and candles and confetti in the chat.
I can do birthday cakes. Birthday cakes, confetti, a whole bunch of fun stuff.
There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our main topic for today, which is our discussion for Miss Marvel, episode 5. This one is titled Time and Again, and this is the penultimate episode, the one before the last. And I can't believe it because I feel like we could get, like, I feel like I say this a lot for Disney Plus shows other than WandaVision. Like, you know, and Hawkeye, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
With the amount that
with the amount of episodes that we got.
That one was paced pretty well. But this one, you know, we're at the penultimate episode, and we're finally learning about the origin of the bracelet, where it comes from.
Well, not
lineage.
even the origins, just the connection of it
it's not even
to Kamala's family.
Yes. So, but I'm happy we got it. I know I saw some concerns, like people was like, oh, I don't want to watch a show for like a history lesson. Which again, each to each their own. That may not be everybody's cup of tea, but for us, I thought it was really interesting to see the show talk about partition, because for us growing up, like going to middle school, high school, I was not aware of partition.
Yeah, me
until
neither.
Now.
I mean, it's also one of those
crazy.
things that I love actually learning about some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of times, this is what made Gandhi Gandhi.
Yeah.
In a sense, this is where Gandhi really shined. It was him trying to get the British peacefully out of India. So this is a lesson that everyone kind of needs to know because it was a big part of history.
Yeah.
And I love when Marvel and comic books and just any kind of pop culture puts their storyline in a historic setting to where you can see.
Sorry, I thought I saw something weird.
I just saw your eyes light up, and I'm like, what do you look at? I know what's over there. Oh. There's nothing that cool over there.
No, your computer does weird things sometimes.
Oh, it did?
Like, sometimes the fan moves on its own,
oh.
and it freaks me out. I'm like, oh. Anyways, continue, please.
I mean, what, what Watchmen did with Tulsa, I thought was brilliant. Mm-hmm. I love what they're doing with Partition. They've done it before with Magneto and the Holocaust. So putting these characters in these historic places makes you, one, want to learn more about that.
Yeah.
And two, makes them more relevant. Mm-hmm. So I've always really loved it when comic books have done that.
Yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed this past week's episode. Like, sure, it's not super, action heavy, but I am okay with it because we have to, help set up. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to flex my foot.
Okay.
How do we have music going on? Wait, can you actually hear that music on the live stream?
Yeah, I'm going to turn that off. I don't think they can.
Oh, okay. The live stream didn't hear it.
There's a ghost. Y'all talking about ghosts
oh my gosh.
in the chat.
We are
I feel
so
like
professional here.
There's a ghost in here. But look, I really, really liked it. I liked that we got to see more of Aisha.
Yes.
Because all we saw was, obviously the mention of her name in past episodes. And then in the one where we finally got to meet the clandestine, they mention Aisha. She shows up as they're searching for the other Bengal. And then, that's when they part ways. And then it's kind of like what happened between her and the rest of the group. So this is kind of like where she ends up, how she falls in love, and how that Bengal is passed down all the way to Kamala. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really interesting. I really liked it. I love the actors. I'm sure they're super popular, well-known actors. And Bali, I don't know them, but but I love them
because I know the grandmother. Because there are these two twins that are Pakistani. That I think right now they only have 2 videos on their entire channel. Mm-hmm. And they were expecting to get 20 views. They ended up getting 30,000-40,000 views.
Yeah.
And it's obviously their first time doing something like this, but they are very cute, very adorable. I love seeing their opinions, and that was one of their reactions, was when the grandmother made her entrance. They were like, oh my gosh, it's this person, and they pause it and go oh yeah, she's a very famous Pakistani actress.
Yeah, all of them are,
I love the fact that they do that.
Yes. So I don't remember the name of the twins, but I'll put it in Discord because I think they deserve all the views. I don't know how many, if they're still up to date, because the last we saw, I think they only did up to episode 3 or 2.
Well, so last I saw, I've only seen episode 1 and 2.
Yeah, so I don't know how far they've gotten, if they've continued, but the reactions to episodes 1 or 2 are really fantastic. So I love this trip to Karachi. I think really helped with Kamala and her relationship with her mother, and also her mother with her mother.
Yes.
I felt there was a lot of not miscommunication, but sort of growing pains, between Kamala's mom and Kamala's grandmother. And there were a lot of things that weren't. She was kind of oh, you're always so talking about all these fantasies that you have, and people saw you you were crazy, you were an outcast. It made me feel like I was weird and I didn't fit in. But I love that they kind of witness Kamala's power, and sort of, I was honestly really surprised by her mom's reaction. She was like, you're the light girl. I was like, why aren't you freaking out about it more? Or is nothing surprising you at this point? Because you've heard your mom talk about all these fantasies for so long.
I would think that would also make her a little bit more surprised this whole time. She had all these theories and Mom, you're crazy. Mm-hmm, you're crazy, mm-hmm. Mom. Oh, not only was my mom right, but my daughter is the one that has all the powers.
Yeah.
I wonder what would have happened if Kamala took the bracer and put it around her mom's wrist, if she would also get powers as well.
Everybody has powers. It's a lean.
You get some powers. You get some powers. Kamran gets some powers.
Yeah, let's talk about Kamran because, well, I guess we should talk about after the time rift and all of that stuff, and Kamala comes back to present. A rift have opened. There's the veil, and so the clandestine was like, we can finally go home, not realizing that it literally killed them.
Yeah.
They turn into, the caption said, like, crystallized particle or something like that, which is very similar to, if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., kind of like the Terrigen Mist effect. A little bit, like, different, but the same. So I don't know if it's a nod to that, or they just happen to look similar coincidentally. But Najma actually, I guess had a change of heart at the end of it, and she was like, I know how to stop this, and was able to transfer her power to her son, Kamran.
Which I found interesting. I'm kind of like, I did not... One, she wasn't able to do any of that stuff to begin with, but yet she was still able to pass it on to her son, who also didn't have that kind of power to begin with. But I'm wondering...
Maybe he had, and it just wasn't unlocked.
Maybe that's what it was, and it took a sacrifice in order. I'm hoping that in the next episode, they do... Marvel, you've got a lot of explaining to do.
You have. Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Even their concept of time travel was different than what they set up in Endgame. Because in Endgame, they were talking about different branches of reality, that if you go back in time, you create like a new reality. But in this one, it was definitely kind of like what they do in Back to the Future. Well, even in Back to the Future, it was kind of like a branch. But where I think it's called a closed loop, and it's where you go back in time, but you going back in time is what actually causes the events of your present. So there's really no change in the timeline. But in Endgame, it was a whole different reality.
And we also like to add that if you guys want to know more, like in specific detail about all of this, check out New Rockstars. Eric Voss does a great breakdown of everything. We always watch their videos. We always watch Cosmic Wonder. So just like go ahead and give those channels. Not that they need the love, but they deserve the love because it's such a well-produced video and a lot of great information.
They must just spend hours on research and note-taking.
We gotta watch, like, we always sit right next to him, but, like, we sit in the proximity of Eric at the premiere. So, like, maybe if we're all there for She-Hulk and we happen to, like, if we're invited and we all happen to be sitting next to each other, I want to, like, look and see, like, how much, because I know he's got the notebook. And I know he has to take notes in order to talk about it, but, like, how much is he writing down? You know what I mean? Because, like, I take notes, but it's, like, very little.
Yeah.
And to the point where I don't look at it. I just have the habit of writing it down so it's ingrained in your brain, and then you can remember to talk about it when you come home and do your review. But he does a whole different thing. It's more than just reviews. So, in any case, Kamran in the comics does have that similar kind of like a
that
turquoisey, bluey, slight. There's like bits of yellow, like bioluminescent type of a look, but it's like all
but his whole
over.
skin, it's kind of like Iceman when he's always in his ice form.
Yeah.
So, but like what Debbie says in the chat is Kamran in the comics is an Inhuman too. The veil, I believe, is how they're going to introduce Inhumans into the MCU.
It would be interesting to see how they approach that, but Kamran obviously was left behind. Mom and everybody else was like, we're going to Karachi as well. Bye, Kamran. So he was kind of left to fend for himself. So he shows up at Bruno's store.
Poor Bruno.
Poor Bruno, man. Like the unsung hero of everything. He endures so much. And he's Kamran goes to him for help, and Bruno, being the kind person he is, helps him out. But what happens, because the DODC had a drone that tracked Cameron down, who then was able to use his power to blast the drone. But the drone, before it crashed and burned, probably was like, not today, or should I say, I can do that too. Pew!
And
blew up the entire, that one little tiny spark blew up Bruno's entire store.
Yep. And I'm not going to be surprised. This is what actually causes Bruno to be like, you know what? I'm going to go to Caltech.
See you later.
Peace. I lost everything. And very reminiscent of what happened in Spider-Man, when that one delicatessen got blown up.
Yeah.
And I think it was the first one.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly how that's going to happen because we literally have one episode left, and I feel like there's a lot to still to tell. There's a lot of story to tell. We still literally have not seen Kamala Khan in her actual outfit.
I know.
Which we're going to get the reveal on the final episode. And we know that this isn't the end of the story for Ms. Marvel. We know she's going to show up in the Marvels alongside Captain Marvel and Monica. So, like, we know that that's happening, but, like, exactly how are they going to end it and how is that going to connect to the Marvels? We will find out, but I am really liking the story so far, and I think a lot of it is to how likable the actress Iman Vellani is.
Yes.
As Kamala Khan. She's so likable.
They casted her perfectly.
Yes, she's a lot of fun
She really is
to watch.
Kamala.
Yeah, she really is like a real life Kamala Khan.
And I love the fact too that they were interviewing her, and she was kind of like saying, like, you know, before I never really believed in what is that called, fate. But she's like, I'm sitting here and going, the way everything worked out, the fact that I'm a huge Marvel fan, the fact that I love the comics, the fact that Kamala is my favorite comic book character, the fact that I went in an audition for Marvel, the fact that I was acting, the fact all of these things really did fall into place for me, of like, it was fate, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
It really changed my perspective on how things happen in life.
Yeah. So it's a really perfect casting. You know, gotta appreciate she's doing a hero's work, Sarah Finn, for casting. Like, it's really, really perfect. So with that, we're so excited for what is next for Miss Marvel. I'm curious to, like,
let's start talking theories.
You want to start talking theories?
Yes, theories.
Okay. One of the theories I had was, remember at the very beginning when we met Kamran, and I go, oh no, but what if he turns out to be the big bad? I don't know if that'll happen necessarily, because right now all things are pointing to the DODC being the big baddie, and I get this is where some people were like, wait a second, you build up the clandestine and Najma to be the big bad, and that story seems to have ended because they're like little piles of dust.
They're all dead. Yeah. Either they've been stabbed, or they've been dusted, or rocked instead of dusted.
Yeah,
stoned.
However you want to call it. So no, not stoned. That's a whole different thing. No. But yeah, so it seems like the DODC is turning out to be the big bad, but that's just, I can see how that's not really satisfying to some people. Because had Najma stayed around and stayed the big bad, then Kamran would have served as kind of the person who has to choose mom or what's right.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that would have been really interesting for his character. So now I'm curious to where that's going to go, because he's eventually going to find out that his mom died, and that's why he got the power. And how do you explain all of that? Is he going to be really mad at Kamala and be like, you could have stopped her and you didn't do anything? Or will he be just devastated but understanding?
I think he's going to be understanding, because
he seems very kind.
Yeah, very kind-hearted. He also seems to know, his mom, he knows that his mom was trying to kill her. And he was a part of that big fight in the wedding.
Yeah.
So he knows that, her mom's a little unhinged. He knows that his mom left him. So I'm like, okay, that's even more unhinged. So I think Kamala...
She didn't care.
Yeah.
She was like, she made it really important that the Bengal was more important than her son.
Yeah.
And I would have also liked to see, like, Najma's, because we got, Aisha's past, right? But, like, what about the story for Najma? Like, how did Kamran come about, and who did she get to meet? Like,
who's his dad?
I'm curious about that too. So I don't think we're gonna get that unless Kamran kind of gives us the exposition of it. But that would have been interesting. So what are some of your theories for the next episode?
Well, there's got to be some kind of build-up between the DODC, because they've only really put a touch on that.
Our friend isn't even in it yet.
I know, and I'm thinking, what I'm really, really hoping, not just because I'm friends with him, but because I love him
right now.
And Ethan is an amazing guy, and I wish him the best, that he's gonna be introduced as like a big wig, at the DODC, and either he's going to be a full-on an adversary, or he's going to be the one who kind of like introduces Kamala to Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
And I think that would be really cool. Out of all, okay, so I actually want to ask you and all of the everyone in the chat. Who do you think they're going to have show up from the MCU in the either the end credit scene or at the end of Miss Marvel? Do you think they'll do Nick Fury? Do you think they'll do Captain Marvel? Do you think I really want them to do Captain Marvel. Do you think they'll do Monica? I mean, they've got to have someone kind of make an appearance in this. Star Drew's like Squirrel Girl.
I think he said that earlier. I would love it to be Miss Marvel. I think it makes the most sense. But it also could be too obvious, right? Like, she's very busy doing the planet stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe she's not paying attention. But we could maybe get a Monica.
I think that's more likely.
And if you want to go, like, really weird off the weird end side of things, and I'm only saying this because and this could mean nothing, but we saw that little Easter egg of the 10 rings symbol. What if it's and Wong has the sling ring to be able to go wherever?
Oh yeah.
What if it was Wong that showed up, be like, hey, we gotta talk?
And what is it? Who was it? Johnny Light. Johnny Light. Oh no.
John Elite.
John Elite. Sorry, my apologies. Captain Marvel. But wait, I'm sorry, I missed it. Leo said American Chavez.
Chavez would be really cool.
America Chavez is with Wong. So if Wong does show up, and Wong has been kind of showing up in a lot of Marvel properties. Sorry, slip of the tongue. A lot of the Marvel properties, he showed up in Shang-Chi. He showed up in, what was the other one that he just showed up with at the very end?
Shang-Chi.
There was another one.
It wasn't Moon Knight.
I thought he also made an appearance in something else. Well, yeah.
I mean, he was in Doctor Strange, but that's his own movie.
But that is his own movie, yeah.
In a way.
Because then if you did do Wong, then you can be like, hey, we're going to train you. But he doesn't have any connections to Miss Marvel. So...
No, but it's because of the bangle.
Yeah.
That's because
and
that's why he went to Shang-Chi, was like, hey, we got to talk about these things. They're thousands of years old. And then that's when we got in the end credit for Shang-Chi, the like telephone call or whatever it's called for like Miss Marvel, for Captain Marvel and Bruce were also on like calls with them. So that's why I think it's Wong, but I think it's pretty far out there. And you guys all know, if you've been watching these live streams and these reactions that we do for Disney Plus shows, all of my theories are usually wrong. So there's no way I am right. There's no way I'm right.
So we'll just let Wendy make a theory, and then we'll just be like, okay, we know that's not going to happen.
Mephisto's going to show up.
Mephisto.
There it is.
Well, we have seen the Hell Realm when when Doctor Strange and America was going through all the different universes. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And that's also something I really do want them to explain a little bit more too. The differences between realms, universes, dimensions, planes. So, I mean, they're really taking the MCU and just going, all right, we're now going to go everywhere with this.
Yeah. It'll be really interesting. Yeah. A couple of other people, a lot of you guys are saying Captain Marvel. Let's see. Oh, end credit scene that we could see, that's interesting, from MK Songbird, is Paul Rudd recording the Ant-Man interview podcast.
That'd be funny. That would be really funny. I would love to see that.
Yes, I would like to see that. Johnny Lee says Maria Hill or Nick Fury.
Maria Hill would actually be a good one too, because she could, that is you can say a lower level MCU.
She's kind of like directly, working with...
Easier, I'm going to say easier to get. Because it would be expensive and more difficult to get, like, Nick Fury.
They have money, whatever.
To get, for a little cameo, to get Carol Danvers. What's her name? The actress.
Maria Hill?
No, the actress that plays Captain...
Brie Larson?
Brie Larson. Mm. It's a little bit more difficult to get Brie Larson. It's a little bit more difficult to get
I don't think it's
Nick
more
Fury.
difficult. She's under contract.
Well, yeah.
You have all these things are built in. So I think what's difficult would be potentially schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they could make it happen. I mean, like, I think number one choice is Captain Marvel. I think everybody would like to see.
Yeah.
The next probable choice, Maria Rambeau.
Mm-hmm.
Monica, sorry, not Maria. Monica Rambeau. And then my choice I would think maybe Wong, but I think that's pretty far out. I would not mind seeing Paul Rudd, doing a podcast, like the Avia podcast. I think that would be hilarious. Let's see. What else you guys are saying?
I really do like that.
Mertaranta says Kate Bishop. Sorry, what?
Oh, maybe Kate Bishop is recruiting for the Young Avengers? Because then we know we're getting that. We know they're building up. We're building up to that.
Yeah.
Because we've already got a couple of the Young Avengers pretty much presented and established pretty well. So I'm excited to see about that too.
Debbie says this interesting bit. She says, remember the show Secret Invasion and the Marvels shot at the same time. At the end of WandaVision, we did get... Nope. Was it WandaVision?
Which one? What was the...
Well, at the end when we saw... Yeah, it was WandaVision. At the end we saw a Skrull talking to Monica.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So what if it's something like that? That's like no specific character, but like... Which would be kind of crazy, but, I don't want to throw anything out. Anything else?
So, yeah, I mean, there's... I'm really afraid that they won't bring in any kind of cameo.
They don't have to.
I really want one, though. I think they have worked so hard to get to a certain point that they really need to hit it home.
I really
want
to see her meet Captain Marvel at the very end of her series. Like,
and just have her
so cool.
And have her just geek out.
Yes.
I would have loved too if there was a moment to where they actually didn't tell the actress that they were going to bring in, Miss Marvel, and they just have her like have this moment, like have it be a different actress or like a different on the script.
Oh, they do that too, and then you get the genuine reaction.
And,
like Captain Marvel walk in and she'll be like, "Hey, Kamala Khan."
Oh my god.
And the director's not yelling cut, so she has to stay in the moment, but also be like, "Oh my god."
Like that would be pretty cool, because the same way that she said, "Hey there, Peter Parker."
Yeah, exactly. Hey there, Kamala Khan. That'd be really, really cool. And with that, I mean, that's all the theory I have. I haven't had much theory other than like, maybe Kamran was the big bad, which remember how wrong I was with that.
In the comic books, he's also a really good friend to Kamala.
Is he? I thought he was an adversary.
I think he was a good friend.
Oh.
Check me on that if I'm
Debbie
wrong.
would know. Debbie knows.
But I really do think that they're going to form more of a friendship. I think they're going to work together, because now Kamala is going to have to try and rescue both Bruno and Kamran from the DODC.
Yes.
I don't know if the DODC is also going to get in trouble for blowing up a restaurant, because they've actually done more damage now than Kamala has. It's kind of like, wait a second, you guys are supposed to be damage control, and you're trying to capture me and caused more damage.
Yeah.
So you're kind of defeating the purpose of you guys being around.
All right, Ethan says, get your popcorn ready for Wednesday if the editing gods are generous enough, that is. Yeah. Here's the thing about production. It's like, you don't know, even if you have lines, your entire scene could still be cut. So that's just like, that's not up to the actor. It's really up to like the producer and the director for the final stuff. But we know he was on set, and we know he shot the stuff. He's definitely in the trailer. Let me see if I can find a picture of Ethan in the trailer. Let me look it up.
Something else that Steve brought up. So Matt getting Kamala out of the DODC or She-Hulk, that actually might be a good cameo, is having She-Hulk in the end.
And like break them out of the DODC.
Kamala gets arrested, or when Kamran gets arrested, there's some defense.
Yeah.
And it's either She-Hulk. I would love to see Daredevil.
Yes.
I think that would be really cool.
Wouldn't we all?
Because if I'm not mistaken, they kind of hinted at the fact that Daredevil actually goes out of his way to defend those that are going up against the DODC.
Yeah.
So especially because they seem to kind of target kids.
Yes.
So I would love to see that. Get some Matt Murdock in there. How did you do that? I'm a really good lawyer.
I'm a really good lawyer. Yeah. So, I mean, that's all really the theories we have for that. Murtaranta says, who else is really waiting for the embiggening scene?
I want to see that too. I want to see there. I want there to be a really big scene where she just goes full out on her powers.
I mean, if she's pissed enough that her friends are in trouble and the DODC literally blew up her friend's family store, like, I think that's a lot of, you know, motivation for her to want to, like, protect.
Yeah.
So it could happen depending on how things go down for the final episode. But I am very, very excited. I like that her mom, she doesn't have to hide that from her mom now. I think she will have the conversation between herself and Nakia to kind of explain how this happened. They can't...
And she has to have that conversation with her dad, too. Dad, I'm a superhero. And someone else put that in the chat. That scene we have not seen that scene that we saw in the trailer where she goes, I'm a superhero, and she goes off dancing.
I thought it was in episode 2 after she got the power, no?
Was it? Was it with Bruno that happened in?
I thought so.
Maybe. I might be completely wrong with that.
I don't remember.
So, but I'm excited to see where this leads. I really did feel like this episode 5 kind of felt like the closing episode. It really did seem like this whole storyline did end, and then just at the very end, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's right. We still have another episode."
I was so mad that they ended with the cliffhanger. I get it. It builds anticipation for the final episode, but I was like, "Come on, 5 more minutes, please." So yeah, it is what it is. We look forward to it for sure. We can't wait to see what is next, and you make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you're not, hit the notification bell so when our reaction goes up for Miss Marvel for the finale, you can be right there and watch along with us. So even though it's not technically a watch along. So yeah, I can't find the picture. So I'll put it up in Discord later when I find it. And with that, is there anything else you wanted to add to
No, those are pretty much the big topics that I did want to discuss, because we talked about the time travel. We talked about the fact, that Kamala was there and actually she was the one who actually our theory was correct.
Yes.
That she was the one that was going to produce the trail of stars that led her grandmother to her father. The backstory that we got with her great-grandmother, Aisha, and that was pretty much the big part of this story, was the flashback and the backstory of what tragedy was that in India?
The partition.
The partition. Thank you. I just couldn't think of the word of what happened during partition and the storyline with her and her with Aisha. Yeah. So that was the big part of this story. Was that backstory that we got. Yeah.
So I am very, very, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do something and my phone wants to do other things. I am super excited for what is next. I can't wait for the finale. I'm very, 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 very excited. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end our live stream, but stick around because I was attempting to do a equivalent to what a raid would be on YouTube, but it wasn't going to happen, so I'm going to try a different way. So just give me a second.
You can raid now on
Well, you're supposed to be able to redirect, but you have to have permission from other people's channel to allow you to put their channel as a list of a redirect.
Oh.
So instead, I'll just do this because the rejects are on right now, and they're chit-chatting about Thor. So I am gonna
getting some Thor Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah, so
there's something about that title, Love and Thunder, that just makes you want to go Thor Love and Thunder.
Thor. My computer's moving super slow because I have 50 million programs running. So just bear with me for a second because I want to try to make this work, but I also want to try to. They're still alive. All right, let's share, copy. All right, so before we end, let everybody go and give some love to my friends John and Greg, The Real Reject. Click on that link. That'll take us right to their channel if you're okay with listening to some spoiler discussion for Thor Love and Thunder. And with that, and let them know we sent you, so the movie couple sent us. They'll love it. All right, we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next Wednesday for both Miss Marvel Reaction and a live stream. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.